morning to all. Myself Shreya Sinha, and let's start our today's math class. So yesterday we had done science and let's learn math. So today's chapter of math is factors and multiples. So let's start learning. But first a question rises that what is a factor? So a factor of a number divides that number exactly. Now, what do you mean by exactly? So, exactly means that if I will divide that number and if a 0 is as a remainder, so that means the number is now divided exactly. Take an example of course, like say that 3 and 6. So I have a number here 6. Can I see that 3 is a factor of that 6? Yes, I can, because if I will do the division, I will get that 3 into 2 gives me 6. So I will get the remainder as 0. That means it is dividing exactly. So now here you can see. So that divides that 6 equally. So that means 3 is a factor of 6. So let's find the factors of 6. So can a 1 be factor of 6? Of course, yeah, because 1 is a factor of all the numbers. Why I can say that? That's because in the 1 there is all number. And if I'll take that number itself. Okay, imagine a number line here. Imagine a number line. Like here I had drawn a number line. 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, and then 5, and 6, and so on. So, now here you can see that in this number line. So what does a factor mean? It means that, like I want to say that 3 is a factor of 6. So how can I represent that in a number line? It means that if I will jump the step size of 3, so I should or I must touch the 6. So will I touch the 6? Of course, because 3 into 2 gives me 6. So now here you can see this number line. So what I want to tell you? I want to tell you that does a factor mean? The factor means the step size. If I will take the step size of that factor and I have to reach the number, that's factor is that. So take how to find the factor. So is 1 a factor of all the numbers? We have discussed that. Okay, let's take it. So if I will make a size of 1, how many numbers I will touch? Of course, all the numbers. So that means 1 is a factor of all the number. So I can say that 1 is a factor of all the number. Now, if I will jump the step size of that number itself, will I land on that number or not? Of course I will land on. Take example. Here we were going with the 6. So let's take the 6 only. So if I will jump a step size of 6, that means like this. So will I reach on the 6? Of course, yeah. We are reaching on the 6. So can I say that all the number itself is a factor of that number? Of course I can say that because all the numbers divide that number. So now we can say that there must be 2 factors. Let me write down for you. So the number itself is a is a factor of that particular number. So, now we can say that there must be two factors of all the numbers. They will be always there. Now, what about the multiples? What are that? So, if I will take example of multiple. So, as you know that the factors are related to the division, is it? Yeah, it is. Now, division is just the opposite of multiplication. So, can I say that multiples is just the opposite of factors? Let's check it out. Like take a multiplication table like 6 into 2 gives me 12. So can I say that 6 and 2 is a factor of this 12? That means these two numbers are the factor of this number. So now can I say that this number is a multiple of these two numbers? Let me explain. What are the multiples? So, for getting multiples. So what are the multiples? The multiples are the number multiples of a number is the number which comes in. Okay, here I am using number. I think you will get so confused. So let's take the A and B. So multiples of A is the number which comes in the table of A. I think it is clear. So what I want to say you, take the example of 6 again. So take a multiples of 6. What are the multiples of 6? Of course, how can we get the multiples of 6 or multiples of any number? We have to just write the multiplication tables. That means if I want to write the multiples of 6, so I have to write the multiplication table of 6. I can say that 12, 18, then 12, 18 and all the numbers which comes in the table of 6 is the multiple of 6. So, I think it is clear to you. What are the multiples? A multiple is just the number which comes in the table of that number. So, let's learn more about that. So, if I ask you that what is the largest multiple, can you tell that? What I mean here? I mean that what is the largest multiple of this particular number? Like in this case 6. So we can't tell it because the numbers are infinite. We can't tell the largest multiple. You can also think about that. So let's learn more about the factors and multiples. So I think that you know the relation. Let me give you the relation of that also. So take the number A and B or X and Y. You can take any alphabet. So here I am taking X and Y. So now if I tell you that X is a factor of this Y, I don't know the number. I am not telling you the number. Here I have only X and Y. Now if I tell you that X is a factor factor of y. So can we see that y is a multiple of x? Yes! Why? That's what the relation goes like. So the y must be the multiple of this number. Do you understand the relationship? If x is the factor of the y, so the y must be the multiple of this x. Let's think more. So, can this number be bigger than this number? Of course not. Why is that? A factor should be always lesser than the number. Let me take. Like take here 3 and 6 or 3 and 9. You can take all numbers. You can take any other examples also. So here I have 3 and 6. I can say that 3 is a factor of 6 and 6 is the multiple of 3. So now here can the factor be bigger than that number, or can the 3 or can the factor of 6 will bigger than the 6? Definitely not. What I mean here, I mean that this number is a dividend, and the factor is just a divisor which divides that dividend exactly. So can the divisor be bigger than the dividend? I'm not talking about the decimal divisor. I'm talking about all the whole divisors. In the decimal division, the divisor could be bigger. But here I am talking only the whole number divisor. Whole number. The answer should be in whole number. So can the divisor will be bigger than the dividend? No, it's not. It will be give me the answer in the decimal. I not need the answer in decimal. So that means that always the factor is smaller than the number or equal to that number, and the multiple will be equal to the bigger number, and it could be more than that bigger number, because multiple, you can take a multiplication tables also. So can I say that let's have a question here. Like take that here I have a number x, and here I have a number y, and if I will ask you that, if I will tell you that x is a factor of this y, so can you tell me that this y's factor, or I want to tell you here that, let me rub this first. So I told you that the factor is always smaller than the smaller number also. This number also. Sorry, the factor is always smaller than this number. So the factor could lie on this side of this number. The factor could lie here. The factor couldn't lie here if the number line is starting from here. Do you understand that? Let me explain you again. Take a number here y, and let's forget this number also. So y's factor, the factor of the y lies on which side? Here or here? Here, of course, because the factor is always smaller than the number, and the multiple is always bigger than that number, or it could be equal to, and the factor is also can be equal to of that number. So let's take more problems here. So take that I had given you a number, a bigger number. Take that here. I have given you 984637. So I have given you this number. And if I ask you that is this number divisible by 2, 3, and if I ask you if I will give you a particular number, take that 2 for example. So if I ask you that is this number be divisible by this 2? So there is one method to find out. You have to do the long division. And is there any short trick to do that? Yeah, of course. And that is called divisibility rule. Divisibility rule. So let's learn the divisibility rules from 2 to 11. Let's start with that. So let's take the 2. I think that you know about that. Any number which ends with 0, 2, 4, 6 and 8, it is divisible by 2. Or all the even numbers is divisible by 2. Let's move on to the 3. So if you will write down the 3's table, we'll find the pattern in that. What is the pattern? So if I will write here the 3's table. So here what I have 3's table. Now can you see here a pattern? Just check it out. I can write it as this. Yeah. So, can you find any pattern? Let's see it out. And here, yeah, there's one pattern. Look at this table. If I will plus this 3 plus 0, I will get 3, then 6, then 9, then 3, then 6, and then 9. Sorry about that. Here I had written the 16. Yeah. So here 9, then 3, 6, 9, and then 3. What is going on? If I will add all the digits, I will get 3, 6 or 9. 3, 6 or 9. Always I am getting that. So can I say that if I have a number and if I will plus, that's all the digit. And if the sum of that digit is divisible by 3 or it is ending or it is 3, 6 or 9, that means it is divisible by 3. What I mean that take a number like 4, 6 and 3, 7 or 2 and 1, 1. So I have taken a random number. You can take another number also. So now in this number, if I ask you that is this number is divisible by 3, what you have to do first? You have to plus all the digits. And what you will get here? You will get here 24, sorry. So, is this divisible by 3? Of course, yes. That means this whole number is also divisible by 3. Let's move on to the 4. So, in the 4, what you have to look? If there is any number, if there is any number of digits, it could be 8, 9, 10 digits or a very large number. What you have to look? You have to look or you have to go to the last 2 digits and check. If it is divisible by 4, that means that whole number is divisible by 4. And if it is not, so that number is not divisible by 4. It's pretty simple. Let me write down for you. So, if the last 2 digits of any number is divisible by 4, divisible by 4. So that means that whole number is divisible by 4. What about 5? It's so easy. You have to look at the ones place or the unit place. If it is ending with 0 or 5, you can see the pattern in the 5's table also. 5, then 50, then 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45 and so on. So, can you see a pattern in that? All the numbers in the 5's table is ending with a 0 or a 5. 0, 5, 0, 5, 0, 5. It is type of a pattern. So, if you want to know that is the number is divisible by 5, you have to look at the unit place of that number, and if that unit place is 0 or 5, it is divisible by 5. Let me write down for you. So, if any number is ending with 0 or 5, that means that whole number is divisible by 5. So let's move on to the 6. So if you will look at the 6, what you can see, 6 is just 3 into 2. So can I say that number, if you want to find that the number is divisible by 6, so what you have to look? You have to look that number should be divisible by 3 and 2 both. Let me write. If the number is divisible by 2 and 3 both, so that number is divisible by 6 also. Let's move on to the 8. We will not do the 7 because it is a little difficult. Let's move on to the 8. So, in the 8, you will find two ways for finding that the number is divisible by 8 or not. Let me tell you. The first way and the second way. So, what you have to look? You have to look at the first way, say that, look if the last 3 digits of any number is divisible by by 8. So that number is also divisible by 8. That whole number is divisible by 8. You can try it and do some examples also. What is the second way it says? You have to just divide that, like take a number 164. 164, and you have to write like this, and you have to divide, or you have to take the prime factorization. We will discuss prime factorization also. For now, let's know that you have to just divide this from, like this is an even number, it goes to the 2. So here what you will get, like this, 82. Of course, then you have to go on like this. Now if there is 3 times 2 is coming, what I mean, if there is 3 times 2, here the 2 times, here the 2 is 2 times. If there is also here a 2, so that means that number is divisible by 8. And if there is no, here is no, because you can see here 2 divided by 164 gives me 82, then 2 divided by 82 gives me 41, and then I can't go ahead with 2. That means this number is not divisible by 8. So I think that till 8 you are clear with that. I think that I should make another video for the 9,